Okay, what's up, everybody? Cash here, bringing you another 1v1 new tools video on, as you can see from the thumbnail and on your screen. We are going to be looking at Azumarill today, but before we start the video, I'm going to be playing some on SoundCloud, Hunna G. So, Hunna G is actually my girlfriend's cousin. He doesn't rap, he just makes beats. I mean, maybe he raps from time to time, never heard him, but his name's Hunter. He makes beats. If you know who Johnny Two Phones is, you might have. I've like come across some of his songs randomly on Spotify. It was actually hilarious. I was like on Spotify one day and I was listening to this song in my recommended, and it says like Hunna G on the track, and I literally like texted my girlfriend and I was like, "Is this your Hunna G, like your cousin?" And it actually was him. So yeah, I'm going to play some of his songs from his SoundCloud in these next two videos. If you want to check him out, feel free. If you want to check out Johnny Two Phones, Hunter makes his beats too. So yeah, these are not him rapping. These are just him producing and making the beats on these songs. And some of them are pretty good. So if you want to, you can check him out. Give him a follow. He's a cool dude, even in real life. So, alright, so let's get into this. Let's start the song first. Alright, so Azumarill, another mon coming back from Gen 7, where it had probably a couple different sets that were like a little bit better. I'm gonna lower this just like a little. Alright, yeah. I don't think it's loud for you, but it was loud in my headphones. So, I've got kind of four sets. One of them I combined because it wasn't needed. So shout outs like people, Danny Doritos gave me one of these, Nale, shout out Frosty who helped me, as you'll see later with the replays. So we got three sets. We'll get into them, but let's, as we always do first, we're gonna look at the raw stats. So we got Azumarill, water fairy type. It's raw stats. Like if you look at them, they're not like super great, right? 100 HP, that's crazy high. You can see with max HP 404. That's insane. But 50 attack, really low. 80 defense is pretty good mixed with 100 base HP. That's actually like pretty defensive. 60 special attack, pretty much completely irrelevant. 50 speed, pretty low speed tier. Especially because you'll see on some of these sets we're not really running any or very low speed. So why is Azumarill good? One, it has good typing. Water fairy is good. Water types are good defensively in general. Fairy types also good defensively in general. We already have a very popular water fairy in Primarina, which is one of the top mons. Azumarill kind of follows into that, like the water fairies are just strong. And its ability. So it's got three abilities. It's got thick fat, which is pretty much completely irrelevant because fire and ice are both already not effective versus you. So that's pretty much completely trash. Huge power. That's what makes it so strong. Your attack is doubled. So like even though you have base 50 attack and you seem just weak, and like maybe if you used like Azumarill in one of like the playthroughs on like an actual game cartridge, like Azumarill seems terrible, but with its ability, huge power, it just absolutely like dunks things. Like it makes it so strong, which is why it's so like usable. I mean, I wouldn't say so strong because it's still coming off base 50 attack, but like it's really strong. Let's just put it that way. And you already saw it's good defensive stats. That's pretty good. It also has Sap Sipper, which is good because it can prevent you from getting hit by grass attacks. So there are some Azumarills. I should say this right away. Every set that I'm showing in these videos are not the only sets. Like that's one of the best parts about 1v1 is that you can always make a new set. You can always make a new AV spread to like beat whatever you want, right? You don't have to use these like standard whatever. So yeah, Sap Sipper can be good because you can eat all of grass attack, which is like really nice. Sorry, I know it's not loud for you, but like just loud in my headphones, so then I can't listen as well. So So yeah, so Sap Zipper can be used. You might see a Sap Zipper like charm set. Maybe I'll throw it in like the sets compendium. I don't know how necessarily good it is. It's kind of more of a like a lure, but it is kind of cool. Maybe I'll chuck it in down below for you guys if you want to check that out. But all these sets are going to be using huge power for us today. So we got 3 sets that I consider, meta, common, things you'll see on the ladder, things you can use yourself. Then, we'll do our normal, how we beaten this, blah, 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 stuff. So first set, probably, which we're already on, probably the weakest of these 3, maybe. Just straight up choice band. Very straightforward, very easy to use. You can do the EVs however you want. If you want to try to like EV more defensively to tank hits, this is just max HP, max attack, adamant for the most power possible. Moves, you got your dual stab, so liquidation, really strong water move, play rough, strongest physical fairy move, aqua jet, so you can get priority if you ever need like to use priority. Say you're facing like Togekiss and you want to get your aqua jet hits in before they're flinching you. You got aqua jet. Last move, we've got knockoff on here. You can also use superpower. That is a pretty good option. It actually has some physical moves that are like okay. But normally, you're gonna want to use these 3 for sure. Plus either knockoff up here or superpower, both good moves. So yeah, you can choose that last coverage based on what you want. But this is super straightforward, just like mostly stab moves. All you do is you send this thing out versus whatever. Say you're fighting a Volcarona, you're fighting like any like rock type, whatever. You just click your stab moves, you kill them. You're fighting a dragon, you're fighting let's say you're fighting Guja, you just click play rough, bada bing, he's gone. So this set's really straightforward, easy to use, very beginner friendly. Next we'll do what I think most people would consider Azumarill's best set, Assault Vest. Basically because your HP is already so high, you can invest a lot in your HP. Give yourself a tiny bit of defense. This defense and HP combo is so that Urshifu can't kill you with poison jab, Haxorus can't kill you with poison jab, and you can play rough them for super effective damage, killing them back. You have this special defense with a careful nature, 148 careful. That is so that you can live Porygon Z Specs Hyper Beam, and you can live the Hyper Beam, and then you'll click Superpower, as we'll talk about in a second, and kill them. With the Assault Vest, makes you very tanky versus special attackers, and can make you, beat Porygon Z, which is one of the best mons currently. So, for moves, exact same set as Band, pretty much, but you definitely want Superpower on this, because Superpower is really good versus Porygon Z, which is one of the main things that this lures in and kills. So yeah, you just send this out there versus special attackers. Doesn't really matter what the special attackers are. Then you just click your attacks, whatever you need. So you might need a liquidation to try to lower the defense. You might just play rough them to, you're fighting a special attacking fairy. Or not fairy, dragon. Any dragon type, you need to click play rough versus. You can even, say you're fighting sub-disable Dragapult, which would normally beat Azumarill. You can actually click play rough turn 1 while they sub, then you can click Aqua Jet so that they disable that, and then you can kill them eventually with play rough. Pretty good. And then yeah, Superpower is just to hit like those steals and stuff. Mostly hits Porygon Z. Another pretty easy to use set. And then our last set, which I think is a little bit more on the edge, that this is the one that Danny Doritos and Nally both said to me, but it's kind of more niche. These are Danny's EVs. I don't know exactly what they're for, but I just posted this set exactly as he posted it. So you can mess around with the EVs. You can just use I want attacking. You can try to survive certain things if you want. I'll just put this exact set in here because I'm assuming Danny did something with these to make them make sense. But how this set works is just like if you were going to play a standard tier, Azumarill a lot of time is belly drum. So basically you want to like belly drum down, right? Click belly drum, you heal yourself with berries, whatever. He has a Mago berry on this. I think you can use like any of these that are basically all the same, like a Guave, Ipapa. They're all the same. You know, you just put a berry on this, you belly drum down. If you need the healing from your berry, you get it. And then you have +4 attack. So you can just click one of your stab moves. Like Aqua Jet's really good because it's priority. So you're not very fast. But with the priority, you don't need speed. So like you can just get the +4 or +6. I mean, Aqua Jet, max attack. Click Aqua Jet, kills a lot of good stuff. Play Rough does the same thing, and superpower. And so this is really good versus like stall. So say you're fighting like some really fat, annoying thing, right? That you just can't beat normally. There's been a replay where I'm fighting a melodic Amon that I probably normally would not be able to beat with the other sets, but I'm able to kind of muscle past it by boosting. So this is your set that's like more anti-stall, but there's a slight variation to this set, which I'll talk about. Wakan Berry halves the damage taken from electric types attacks. So some people have been using this. It's mostly for like Zeraora, right? You eat their electric attack, and that lets you, fire your attacks off back. Or if they're like a weak attacker, you can click belly drum, and then you're able to kill them. So you're actually turning your type disadvantage into a lure to kill whoever, whatever. That can be pretty successful too. So if you want to try Wakan Berry, you can. If you want to just use the normal healing berry, you can too. I will say that this set is more niche and harder to use standardly. And I think that Assault Vest is just straight up better most of the time, and Choice Band is easier to use because there's no real choices, just the choice of what move you want to click. Versus this, sometimes you might want to belly drum, sometimes you might want to just attack right away. Depends. But yeah, so let's look at some replays I got, and then we'll move on. So this is a replay of Assault Vest, me versus Primarina. He actually just icy wins. I don't know why he icy winded. It didn't end up mattering. You can see Moonblast is doing absolutely nothing to me. All the attacks that they could click do literally 0 damage because of my Assault Vest, and I just slowly killed them with off. But you should be wary of Specs Energy Ball. That does happen, but that's just a general idea of how it's played, right? You pick it into the special attacker and you eat the special attacks. Simple and plain. Next, this is just just the standard of why we're using liquidation over anything else, because liquidation can actually I don't actually know if I get one in this game. Can get a defense trap, but this is just in general. This was just to show how bulky this actually is. I know we're taking less than super effective hits, but I mean not very effective hits, but still, look how many Darkest Lariats I survived, 3 in a row after taking the fake out, and still was able to win, which is pretty good. This one's the liquidation replay. So you're gonna see this would look like an unwinnable matchup probably. But I actually start spamming liquidation, trying to get defense drops, and I am able to get 2 and then finish them off with superpower. So that matchup looked completely unwinnable, but with a little bit of luck on my side, clicking liquidation, I was able to actually still win, which is cool. Just to show you why liquidation is used on the set and good. So here's belly drum replay. All right, I'm versus a mon that's stall. I use belly drum. I'm able to boost my attack up, and then he tries to go for the scald burn, doesn't get it, and I'm able to just kill him. That crit did not matter. I would have been able to 2-hit KO him either way if I didn't OHKO him. So that's basically that's the premise of how belly drum works. It's just mostly for stall. but it is more of like a gimmicky thing that I don't think is necessarily that good on the ladder. It took me 50, literally, I kid you not, 50 games to get a replay where I could use belly drum effectively. And then the very last one, in a definitely a ladder game and not a completely staged replay. This is just a show. Shout out Frosty for helping me out here. This is basically just to show that, you know, you can eat the Specs Hyper Beam here. Look at that. Not even close to killing me. And then Superpower just kills him. Alright, easy as that. So, now that we've seen those replays, you can see what they can do. You can see what Azumarill does. What should we be looking out for counters, and what should we be putting on their team? So, things that are good versus it, obviously. If you're not running Sap Sipper, grass types are really, really tough for you. So, Rillaboom, that's very common mon. That pretty much beats every Azumarill except for Sap Sipper. Electric types, Zeraora beats all the Azumarills besides Wakanberry. But, you know, just something to look out for in general. They can just straight up kill you. You know, I said Primarina with Energy Ball is a pretty good counter if you're having a hard time versus Azumarill. Really, anything that has like super effective damage versus it or doesn't take much damage from it is pretty good. So it has a decent amount of answers. And then on top of that, you can actually lose to if they're like Choppleberry, Porygon-Z, you can lose, and you can even lose to because then they literally just eat your superpower. They click recover, then you're, you know, lower attack, and you just keep clicking superpower. You can't actually kill them. They just recover it off, then a nasty plot, and then they kill you. So you should be wary of that. You also can't really beat Stall very well if you're not belly drum. So you can be a little bit careful of like the really fat mons that might necessarily not just die right away. Like if you're not running knockoff, and probably even if you are running knockoff, you probably can't get through Slowbro. Like you can't get through like the really fat things like Slowbro. If you're not running superpower, you can't get through Ferrothorn. Even with superpower, you could still lose a Ferrothorn if they have like Power Whip, right? So Azumarill's got a pretty good amount of counters. Lots of things that like you can use on your team if you think you're weak to Azumarill. And then for teammates, it goes kind of a real reverse way, like things that beat the things we just talked about, right? So depending on what set you're running, different things are going to be making, you know, better partners. Obviously, Azumarill beats pretty much all the fire types. So if you want to use like a steel type on your team, you know, Azumarill can be good support for that. Azumarill is water type, so it fits in fire, water, grass core. If you want to make, you know, say you want to use like Azumarill, you want to use Rillaboom plus a fire type, you know, that's possible. It also beats dragons, which, you know, if you need to protect some of your mons that, say you're using Rillaboom, right? Rillaboom can't really hit dragon types. You know, you throw Azumarill on there, now you have a good answer to dragons on your team. That can be really strong. You could also use something that's like a resist. Say you're not using Wakanberry, you're gonna need something that resists electric moves. So you could you could use Marowak. That one's decent. You could also try to use like a dragon type of your own, block some electric types, but you have to be careful about Zeraora being really strong. So you definitely want a Zeraora answer on your team. Just anything that you think will just beat the standard Zeraora set, which they can run Play Rough, which is why, you know, it can be a little scary if your Zeraora answer is like Hydreigon, right? that's a bad one because they can even close combat you. But yeah, so you're gonna want something. You could use like Scarf Excadrill as an answer to the Zeraora. You could use Venusaur as your Zeraora answer. Basically anything that will protect you from like electric types. So yeah, so you know, you can try Azumarill out. It's a decent mon. It's got a really cool shiny where it makes you a golden egg. Pretty easy mon to use. I think it's average strength, not crazy but not bad, and definitely has enough variety that it's not super predictable from team preview, which in my opinion is one of the best things you can have on a mon in 1v1. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you all next time. Peace.